Imagine you're peacefully living your life when suddenly the ground beneath your feet decides it's had enough and launches a mountain-sized explosion into the sky. Yep, that's a volcano. Earth is basically a giant rock with anger management issues. Today we're diving deep into the fiery world of volcanoes, how they form, why they erupt, and why some of them are powerful enough to change the climate of the entire planet. And trust me, by the end of this video, you'll never look at a mountain the same way again. A volcano is an opening in Earth's crust where molten rock, gases, and ash escape from deep underground. Think of Earth like a giant chocolate lava cake. The crust is the outer shell. The inside is incredibly hot. And every now and then, the filling finds a way out. That molten rock underground is called magma. Once it erupts onto the surface, it's called lava. Why the name change? Good question. It's basically the same stuff. It's like how you're called a passenger on a plane but a pedestrian when you get off. Same person, different location. To understand volcanoes, we need to talk about tectonic plates. Earth's crust isn't one solid piece. It's broken into giant puzzle pieces called plates. And these plates are constantly moving. Very slowly, about as fast as your fingernails grow. Which means the planet is basically moving at the speed of procrastination. When plates collide, pull apart, or slide past each other, magma can rise toward the surface. And that's where volcanoes are born. Most volcanoes form along plate boundaries. That's why regions like the Pacific Ocean have huge numbers of volcanoes. In fact, the area known as the Ring of Fire contains about 75% of the world's active volcanoes. Which sounds like a heavy metal band, but is actually a giant horseshoe-shaped zone surrounding much of the Pacific Ocean. Deep underground, magma contains dissolved gases. As magma rises, pressure decreases. Those gases expand, just like opening a bottle of fizzy drink. Eventually the pressure becomes too much. The volcano erupts. During an eruption, volcanoes can release lava, ash, rock fragments, steam, carbon dioxide, sulfur dioxide, and sometimes lightning. Yes, volcano lightning is real. Scientists call it a dirty thunderstorm, which sounds less like a scientific term and more like a wrestling move. Volcanic ash particles collide in the eruption cloud, generating electrical charges that create lightning. It's one of the most spectacular natural phenomena on Earth, because apparently eruptions weren't dramatic enough already. One of history's most famous eruptions came from Mount Vesuvius in Italy. The eruption buried the Roman cities of Pompeii and Herculaneum under layers of ash. Thousands died, but the ash also preserved buildings, artwork, and even food. It's one of the most important archaeological discoveries ever made. Essentially, Vesuvius accidentally created the world's most detailed time capsule. Then came Krakatoa, and wow, the eruption was one of the loudest sounds ever recorded in human history. People thousands of kilometers away heard it. The explosion was so powerful it generated massive tsunamis. The shockwave circled the Earth multiple times. Imagine being so loud that the entire planet notices. Krakatoa achieved that. In 1980, Mount St. Helens erupted in Washington state. Instead of exploding upward, part of the mountain blasted sideways. The eruption removed about 400 meters from the summit. Scientists gained enormous insight into volcanic behavior from studying the event, and it remains one of the most closely observed eruptions ever. Regular volcanoes are scary enough. Then scientists discovered supervolcanoes. These aren't just bigger volcanoes. They're on a completely different level. A supervolcano can erupt with thousands of times more material than a typical volcanic eruption. One famous example lies beneath Yellowstone National Park. Don't panic. Scientists constantly monitor it, and there are no signs that a major eruption is imminent. But if a supervolcano did erupt, the effects could be global. Ash could block sunlight, temperatures could drop, agriculture could be affected worldwide. Basically, it's the geological equivalent of Earth pressing the reset button. Volcanoes sound destructive, and they absolutely can be. But they're also creators. Volcanic eruptions build new land. The Hawaiian Islands were formed by volcanic activity. Volcanic ash enriches soil with minerals. That's why some of the most fertile farmland on Earth exists near volcanoes. People continue living near active volcanoes because the land is incredibly productive. It's a little like owning a pet dragon. Risky, but the benefits are impressive. Fortunately, modern science is pretty good at monitoring volcanoes. Scientists track earthquakes, ground swelling, gas emissions, temperature change. These clues often provide warning before an eruption. Not always, but often enough to save lives. Satellites now monitor volcanoes from space, which means somewhere right now, a scientist is literally watching a volcano from orbit. The future is weird and amazing. Conclusion. Volcanoes are among the most powerful forces on Earth. They build continents, create islands, destroy cities, enrich farmland, and occasionally remind humanity that we're living on a planet that's still very much alive. So next time you see a peaceful mountain on the horizon, remember, it might just be Earth's largest pressure valve taking a nap. If you enjoyed this fiery journey into geology, hit the like button, subscribe, and let me know in the comments. Would you visit an active volcano? Or would you admire it safely from very, very far away? Stay curious. Thanks for watching.